district, and from last week, Tuesday, 17th of May, I represent Ntungamo Municipality in Parliament. In, 5 years from now, probably, about. 7. Yes, I am very, very excited. Sorry about it. I'm exceedingly excited to be here. Very, very excited. Now, before I say anything, let me tell you a brief story. Some time back, those days like this, there was a little very sharp girl called Jane. So Jane is in primary 3, and the teacher walks in class and asks class to give an example of an amphibian. And then, because Jane was the most brilliant in class, and they knew no answer, then everybody would be cane. So the whole class started shouting, saying, this one, Jen. Because they thought if Jen doesn't have the answer, then the canes would follow. So Jen put up her hand and said, teacher, you need an example of an amphibian, and said, a frog. She was very surprised for primary 3 to know an example of an amphibian. I said, class, put your hands together for Jen. And they clapped. Then the chair insisted, said, class, give me another example of an amphibian. Keeps this teacher also. So I said, Jen. And then Jen put up her hand and said, teacher, you need another example of an amphibian? I said, yes. And then she said, another frog. Now, I'm not going to make another speech. We make so many speeches, I'm basically have a brief conversation with you. It's interesting to see individuals, groups, teams of people out there concerned about the hygiene and the sanitation of our girls in our communities. It has been a real challenge for so many. I was quickly scanning through the statistics online, but it's unbelievable that across the world about 1 billion people don't access latrines. And toilets, certainly, you can't access a latrine. So the sanitation challenges that we face as a country are not just about us as Uganda, but it's about actually the world. And I'm very pleased to see colleagues from Ghana, from Kenya, from now, of course, world, because you know I had Atlanta, and I think UK. Which other country did I hear? And Uganda, of course. Now, it's exciting because then you know that there is a joint effort across the world, that the world has recognized that there is a challenge facing a reasonable percentage of people that needs to be tackled together. Now, that being the first step, recognized, is very important then, because the moment you identify the challenge, then you begin realizing that, oh, we need to find a solution to this challenge. And then when there is concerted effort, then the solution doesn't become very difficult. Now, why I was excited to come here. Last year in November, I had an opportunity to visit a place called Guangzhou in China. I was doing parliamentary work. Quite interesting, in the last 5 years also I've been representing youth and children in parliament. So this was part of my work, I guess. So while after finishing doing the parliamentary work, we were auditing our embassies. So we had some time, and I asked colleagues to take me to factories or places where they build factories that do sanitary pads, that make sanitary pads. I was very interested because why I was interested is that earlier there was an article I read in the papers, and which was giving very serious, unfortunate statistics in our country about how many girls were dropping out of school because of menstrual periods. maybe one getting interested in an enterprise like that wouldn't only be an enterprise in terms of making or bringing in income, but also would go to a greater extent in ensuring that people can access a fair or affordable sanitary pads. Now, well, the prices I found for those factories are quite really high, quite high. But what excited me thereafter was that I then got interested. I kept reading and trying to find out more about this. Then I discovered that there were people out there in this country who are interested in making reusable sanitary pads. And I thought that would be more appropriate, more applicable than actually even trying to make the ones that they would keep purchasing and probably still at a higher cost. So let me tell you, as I conclude, another brief story. Now, in 2014, a cousin of mine invites me to his home and says, gives me a pack. He says, I want you to take this to Parliament. And ask him, what is it? He says, open. So I opened it, and I discover there are pads. So I asked him, what am I supposed to do with this in Parliament? They say, you take them to Parliament. Our organization is trying to promote reusable pads, and so you go and give them to, you interest this idea to especially the women parliamentarians. I said, okay, I'm obliged. It's interesting. So my office is on the first floor of so the next person is I think Fox Udoye, I think unfortunately. But then there is another colleague from Ntungamo, interestingly. I think who I'm not going to mention his name because now he was the first one, because as I was entering, I met him in the corridor. So I said, boss, here, you may be interested in this. So I opened it. He looked at me with such a huge shock. Then he said, Gerald, I know you've sold so many ideas in this Parliament, but this one, I am sorry, you are not going to sell a single one. I said, this is the first person I'm doing this. Very discouraged. I said, I want to give up. And I met a lady MP from Teso. And then I told her, she was really excited about the idea. She shared it with the other ladies. And I think they were coming from Murray stops. And then later we discovered they were pretty expensive because the park was going for 8,000 shillings. It would run for a year, but still we realized if somebody is not affording 3,000 shillings, then say that from the park just get the 8,000 and just pay at a go. In the long run, yes, it's cheap, but to pay it all at once may be really expensive. So that's the challenge we found with the parks. But again, I think it's also wonderful. Now, what can we do as parliamentarians? Support your efforts. First thing, I remember I told Ida, you know there's been this thing in Parliament. I know the Ugandans are not very happy. They're not even able to listen to these guys. I know even the Kenyans will have a similar challenge. You know there's been an issue ongoing that we don't want to pay taxes on our allowances. Very unfortunate. Yes, indeed, it's wrong because it's true. Yes, we already pay tax on our salaries, but I also think like any public servant, we should also pay taxes on our allowances. Now, how relevant is it here? Actually, I told Ida about a few weeks ago that I'm working on a proposal because the bill has been brought back to the president refused to append the signature. So I'm working on a proposal to say, look, let's actually pay this money. But I'm saying what we should exempt of tax are the materials that are imported to make sanitary pads. Those we shouldn't tax. Because why should a kid or a girl, for that matter, fail to go to school in a country like ours? Because you make these materials so expensive that they cannot access them. So I think we should stop taxing, because I know if we don't tax the materials that we use to make these sanitary pads, then there would be a difference, a significant difference in terms of the cost price. And I think I'll also be supporting the enterprises. I think it will be good. So it's a proposal we are working on, and I think it will probably go in many ways to support your efforts, and also support the girl child in Uganda, and also probably the other countries could also learn from us and say, look, let's remove. Interestingly, there are countries that have done that. I was checking that online. I think Australia is one of them, Canada. They have removed, they don't tax sanitary pads and the rented products. They don't. So, and it has, actually, even those countries, it's not an old idea. Interestingly, I think it started as, there has been a movement trying to push for the same across the globe, that sanitary pads and related materials should not be taxed. And so far, I think the movement seems to be catching fire. Though in the West, not in the African realm, I said. But we are going to work together. We are going to work together. I hope this is not going to be my last time coming here. For girls. It's for girls. I think I will come back. You will not get tired of my coming. I'll bring the other MPs, especially the youth MPs. I will interest them in coming and working with you. Because I know we could use our platform to communicate, to share so much about this, to make it a national concern, to make sure that these issues are taken care of in our policies, to make sure what the president has pledged is not just mere political talk as always, but it is seriously taken into consideration. I had the president promise, I don't know whether it is a good idea from the onset, but I don't know whether government is really serious about it and they are going to commit, because I had him suggest that they were going to provide sanitary pads for all girls in schools. Now I know it's very easy to say things in campaigns. Very easy, and then we do that a lot, which is unfortunate. I tried to avoid it. I hope I will succeed. It would be nice if government can do that. The unfortunate bit is, if government is not going to do it sustainably, keep doing it, then you are not empowering the citizens to live on their own and be able to help themselves. You see that? Yes. I mean, yes, if government can provide, just like government provides medicine and other equipment, that would be beautiful. But I think, in my opinion, I don't know what you think, and that's why I said this should be a conversation. In my opinion, I think, yes, government should provide, but also avail more resources in ensuring that skills like the ones you've just acquired are earned, are obtained by citizens of our country, and then they can take care of themselves when the government is not able to do it. I think that's, for me, is more practical, is more sustainable, is more relevant. So, am I right? Yes. Yeah, and I said we should converse, yes? Because ultimately we represent your views and not just our views. So, that's the side of government. Now finally, I want to sincerely appreciate the efforts of Days for Girls. I have been trying to follow closely since Maria, and thank you so much, Maria, for patiently calling me, reminding me every time to come. Thank you, Ida. As soon as she landed at the airport, she started calling me, harassing me about this function. I was worried because we are still in our starting days. Yesterday we were electing the speaker. Today we have our farewell party.